I'm Glenn Grosshart. I'm a member of the Asbestos Workers Local 8 Cincinnati. Started about 1972. When I got in, we were actually still applying asbestos, putting it in, and I was an apprentice or a lugger actually when I first got in, and I carried the boxes. I mixed the asbestos cement for the guys when they applied it. And then in 78, I became what we call a journeyman or a mechanic. My dad, my great uncle, my uncles, they were all asbestos workers. It was a good way of life. Made a good living for myself. Had 3 kids, and I was able to educate, clothe my family. It's been a good life for me. Probably the mid to late 70s, we became more aware of the effects of asbestos on the human being. We were told the precautions that we were taking would protect us. So it never really occurred to me to walk away from it.
We did not know how dangerous asbestos was then. Not only did the manufacturers hide it from us, the federal government hid it from us. We took it home on our clothes because they didn't tell us.
On the same date of my son's birth, in March of '92, my dad was diagnosed with mesothelioma, and he passed away in May of that same year. And in November of 2013, I was diagnosed with mesothelioma. My doctor told me it was like an abyss, because I knew the outcomes, and I knew what my dad, my uncles, and everybody, even the friends that I worked with, what they went through, and I put myself right there, right now. And then I started thinking about my family, I really did. Sorry.
The industries that we work in, they still have 40 to 50% of asbestos in their plants. Their people are getting exposed to it. There's people in schools getting exposed to it. Someone going up and working in the ceiling, the beams were sprayed. They're exposed to it. In my opinion, it's kind of tough to watch this happen time after time and ever think that it's going to stop.
You don't know what it would mean to somebody if they could come up with a cure for guys who just worked. It had nothing to do with their lifestyle or anything other than just working around a product that they thought was a safe product or didn't realize it was what was bad through no fault or neglect of their own.
Knowing that I could help asbestos workers and their families just ultimately felt really natural. Being at Notre Dame, we're taught to go beyond our education and to help people.
Knowing that I could possibly prevent someone from potentially going through that life where they were watching someone just die in front of them, that gives me passion.
I just think that it's really important to kind of see how the work you're doing affects the patients that are receiving the benefits of your work.
So I spent my summer at the University of Hawaii Cancer Center. I had the chance to work in a fantastic lab, and I had the chance to work with a really phenomenal mentor. He knows everything about mesothelioma, was also just a thoughtful person regarding medicine, regarding science, and really helped me sort out my paths.
This past summer, I worked under Dr. Gao at the University of Washington in their bioengineering department. I synthesized novel nanoparticles to be used as an earlier diagnostic tool.
Through the Grogan Fellowship, I was able to spend my summer at the University of Chicago Hospital. I would study the differences between genetics of men and women meso patients, and then in clinic I would get to meet the patients, and I even got to see some surgeries elbow to elbow with the surgeons.
What happens in one cancer can translate across to other cancers, so not only will they make a difference in the field of mesothelioma, but we imagine that they will make a difference in the world of cancer itself. That's a gift to the foundation and humankind.
It is important to us to help foster their goals because that's where the cure is going to come from.
I pray for my family. I know my situation. They're the ones that have to go on. I just like to be a part of their life. I had to grow old with my wife. I just want the simple things.